Okay, I don't know how long we were off there, hopefully not too long, but I was just talking about the California rare fruit growers here that meet here at the Arboretum. And if you go to their website, which I think is CRFG, CaliforniaRareFruitGrowers.org, you can find out when that is and come in. And if you're into grafting, you're into fruit of any kind, rare fruit, regular fruit, join the California Rare Fruit Growers. They're a great organization, and you get all kinds of growing tips from fellow members. Here is an interesting thing right here. Look at this. Look at that. What is that? I had this brought in by a client the other day, and this has, I don't know if I mentioned this before. It's a fascinating plant. These are the seeds right here. They're winged seeds. Look at that. They're woody. They're winged. They're supposed to fall with a little twisting motion that helps distribute them. These just seem to fall like lead balloons. But, oh, there you go. A little twisting motion. Very thick and woody capsule there. Very thick, very woody. What is it? Well, after some searching, it turns out it is a woody pear, Xylomellum, and Xylomellum is in the Proteaceae family. It's somewhat related to Hakea. Hakeas, there are some varieties of Hakeas that have very tough wooden capsules as well, like this. So it's a very tough wooden fruit. Probably is the way it is the way it is. It probably splits when there's water, is what happens. And a lot of Australian plants have adaptations that allow their seeds, their fruits, or whatever, only to ripen or split open when there's enough water. This is because they can go months and months without water, and the tree, it's an advantage, but evolves mechanisms that prevent the seeds from distributing or dispersing unless there is enough water. So that might be why it has this tough, woody capsule. I had another interesting question, and that question was about the palm trees here in Southern California, how they got here. And the person was, here's the fascinating part. One of the things I had to research about this question was whether or not Washingtonians came here of their own volition, or there's two Washingtonians, by the way. One is a native, it has been here, and another is native down to the Baja Peninsula, and that's actually the Washingtonia robusta. And the Washingtonia foliifera, on the other hand, is robusta is the California native, and foliifera is no, I always get those mixed up. Robusta is the variety from Mexico. Anyway, where did this come from? Because by the turn of the century, it was well established here in Southern California, although not native. It was native to Baja. So where did Washingtonia robusta come from? Well, it may have come up with the missionaries. There were missions established in Baja before there were missions established here, and it wasn't unknown for the Spanish priests to import into California those plants from Mexico and from Baja that were useful. A good example are the tunas, the Opuntia plants. Opuntias, the type that are brought in here that produce Opuntia fruit, are not native to California. They're native to Mexico, yet you see them established at missions. So they may have come with the missionaries. Interestingly, the fruit on these is edible. Same thing with the Washingtonia foliifera. They are edible. And there's a long history of edible date palms being distributed throughout the world. One of the other edible date palms that's fascinating or edible palms, is the date palm. That's Phoenix dactylifera. The date palm was established here in California around the turn of the century by date palm growers. And this book right here, It's a Date, by Wayland Dunham, is a fascinating book. It talks about the initial establishment of the date industry. It talks about some of the disasters they had to face, including one where the Colorado River jumped its banks and formed the Salton Sea. That was a tough one. And they also talk about some of the characters that were involved in bringing dates over from the Middle East. You know, date growers in the Middle East weren't too keen to allow their dates, their propagation material, to go to the United States to create competition. And so there was a lot of kind of Indiana Jones-like adventures going on with some of these people. And it's all in this book. It also talks about date culture, how to grow dates, and some recipes, what you can do with dates. Now, the interesting thing about this book is this book was published in the late 40s. It's still a pretty decent book. And that's it for today. Oh, one more thing. It's not it for today. I just want to show you this plant here.